Howdy guys, this is Jordan with Complete Off-Road. I was just gonna reach out to you guys and make a video for y'all because I repeat myself probably like 5,000 times a day for y'all. And I don't know why it's never dawned on me, and I'm sure somebody else has said this in the past, but it never clicked. A customer today was like, hey, you should just make a video and post it on the page, and then that way people can see it. So here I am. I'm gonna make a quick video, kind of go over some of the stuff. I'm gonna talk about the device that we sell, the DynoJet PV3. We sell this for a bunch of different makes and models. Most of you guys know us from the Honda community. We sell a ton of them for the Pioneer and the Talon. We cover virtually every year make model. Pioneer 500, 700, 1000. Of course, both Talon X and R models, as well as the live valves and the four-seaters. So the bulk of our questions come from the Honda community because, as y'all know, they have DCT, and when you have a dual clutch transmission and 6 speeds, there's a lot of things you can do with that on the transmission end of the tuning. So what I wanted to go over was some of your options, how we set up our tuning packages for the Hondas. This is fairly unique for Honda. It's not necessarily something that we do on Polaris, Can-Am. We're about to release the Kawasaki PV3 stuff as well. We won't offer the same type of packages like we do for the Honda. We also sell for the YXZ and just a bunch of sub-models, pretty much anything you can think of that the PV3 supported, we support as well. And then obviously, as y'all know, we do bench flashing. We have some bench flash hardware that will flash almost any ECU, PCM, TCM you can think of. So if you got some obscure machine, some vintage machine that is fuel injected that you are thinking about doing some programming on, definitely let us know and reach out. We do some of the older Arctic Cat stuff too that's not really well supported. Not a lot of people really inquire about that, but people that do are very satisfied with the product we offer. So kind of back on to the PV3 stuff. So with for Honda specifically, with Hondas we offer 3 different packages. So or for some of you guys 3, or what's the other way I'll do it? I think I've seen 3 like this. So 3, 3, or 3, depending on who you are and how you like to count. So we have the basic package, which is this device, the PV3. You get your choice of fuel and transmission calibration. That's one total tune. And then the shipping, that's $765. Now with that, you still get the custom tune of your choice. You get our lifetime support. You get modular upgrades and updates. So if you buy just a tune from us now and then you want to go later on and add some more features to it, we support all that, and your pricing stays the same. So it doesn't matter if you bulk buy, if you buy our head cam package all at one time, or if you buy, which comes with tuning, or if you buy the tuning separate and then get the head cam package later. All the pricing at the end of the day still ends up being the same. So you can buy tuning now, wait 6 months, buy the head cam package, and everything ends up being the same. We also offer it in what we call the 4-tune and the 6-tune packages. I don't have 2 hands to do this, but if you count 5 plus 1 or 1 or 1, however you count, then how that's set up is the 4-tune package comes with your choice of 2 fuels. So you get, what most people do is they usually pick their primary fuel, which is generally premium. And then they will add 87 octane or E85 or some sort of secondary supplemental fuel. Then when you do that, you get 2 transmission calibrations per fuel. So you've already picked 2 fuels. You know, in most cases it's 87 and premium. Then you get to choose between our 5 available transmission calibrations. So we start with the 5, and then from there we alter it to your machine specifics. So depending on what you have your machine set up like, if you're completely stock, if you're one of those big mud guys with 42-inch tires and a giant lift and you're just bonkers over the top with huge portals, we set up each tune according to the mods that you have. So like when you call us on the phone before we place your order, we'll get a really detailed list from you. Everything from if you have a windshield to if you have a snorkel, exhaust system, portals, what size tire you have, which tire you have is sometimes important. If you carry anything abnormally heavy. So like a lot of guys will carry 2 giant coolers. So if they have 2 giant coolers, we'll get that information too, because all that stuff helps us in the long run get their tune set up. So we'll get all the information from you, set up your tune accordingly, and then we will preload the PV3, which is fairly unique. What you'll do is once you get the PV3, it'll come with all your specific files on it. And then that requires no emailing or corresponding with us as a necessity. Now, you're always welcome to get to do data logs if you'd like. If you're not familiar with data logging is kind of like recording a phone call. So the DynoJet PV3 device, if you click the little round button you see right there in the corner, that will start a recording, and it records all engine parameters. So everything from ignition timing to engine coolant temperature to engine oil temperature, O2 millivolts, injector pulse width, all kinds of stuff. So you can go back, you can record that, you can transfer that to your PC, send that via email over to us. We can look at it, and if your machine needs alterations, or if we see some sort of anomaly, or let's say you have a machine, especially on Pioneers and Talons, obviously since they're DTC, or DCT, I'm sorry, they can have issues where they have shift flare. So if you have shift flare, let's say you have a machine that you've abused in the past and you have clutches that are not in good shape, we can actually see shift flare on the data log, and we can crispen that up and try to get as much as we can out of your clutches. Now, kind of back onto your tuning options. With the 4-tune package, you get your choice of 2 out of our 5 available transmission base files. So we offer cruise, trail, rock crawl, mud, and sand. So those go kind of in order of extreme. Cruise file being our most docile, most golf cart-like tune that we have. So if you want something that's really smooth shifting, minimal clunking, minimal noise, you want to keep your engine operating temperature down as much as possible, exhaust temperature down as much as possible, that is the tune to go with. So effectively what ends up happening is you end up with a tune that has really low shift points, and you cruise down the highway, like let's say you're a guy that travels your neighborhood, or you ride maybe like a hunting lease or something like that, where you want the machine to be as quiet and smooth as possible. That is an excellent tune for you guys. It still makes full power. You can still put it in sport mode and you'll have a spunky machine. No real worries on that end. It's really up to you as far as what tune works best for your application. Now, moving on to trail and rock crawl. The trail tune is very similar to the original intention of Honda with the transmission and the clutching. We just basically far revise it. So what you'll end up with is a very similar shift schedule, but it won't do the weird hunting that the stock Honda tune does. So as you guys probably know, the stock tune, sometimes you get in a certain RPM or certain speed range and they jump between gears and it's really annoying. It just does not perform the way you want it to. We fix that, so we make all that function properly. Then we also address the clutch shudder they have, so at low RPM where they don't make a lot of power in factory form and they don't want to pull themselves. With our tune, they make a lot more power off bottom. So at 2500 RPM, our tune at 2500 makes the same power as a stock tune at 4500. So we can command a lot more clutch application at low RPM. So when we do that, you get a lot more solid clutch engagement, and you don't have that weird shudder they have in stock form. So if you've ever pulled up against a boulder, or you've ever been in deep mud and you put your foot on the gas and it doesn't want to move, and the machine just kind of surges and just bucks back and forth, that is caused by poor just engine performance and poor clutching commands in the factory tune. So with our trail tune, we fix all that. Similar characteristics to the way Honda intended for the machine to drive. One of the things that we add that you do not get in the factory tune with the trail file is you get decel coasting with the clutch off. So let's say on a stock tune, you're going 40 miles per hour and you're coming up to a stop sign, or you're coming up to a turn on a trail and you let off the throttle. Generally, these machines will aggressively downshift, and it makes you slow down like pretty abruptly. It requires you to stay on the throttle and basically until you get to where you're going. It's not ideal. A lot of guys do not enjoy that, and it really just kind of kills the whole vibe of the machine when you're wanting to just kind of coast and be quiet and you want to talk to somebody beside you, especially on decel. So with our tune, we have it set up where unless you apply the brake, like turn the brake lights on, so not necessarily hit the brakes abruptly, but once the brake lights turn on, then it will downshift. So if you let off the throttle and you back out and you are coasting, you'll just have the engine RPM drop and your machine will just free coast. Just like if you're driving a manual transmission vehicle and you put the clutch in. So that's a really cool feature on our trail file. We can apply that to any tune. That's also on the cruise file as well that I mentioned a while ago. Moving on to the rock crawl file. Rock crawl file is identical to the trail file in gears 4 through 6. Gears 1 through 3, you end up with a little bit different altered throttle response and clutch application. So the intention behind that is that you end up with a machine that will take tight and technical maneuvering very well. So if you've ever done any sort of a rock crawling with your stock machine, you realize that one, it doesn't make enough power to even pull itself over a rock. It's pretty embarrassing sometimes. And two, when you kind of got to hit it fast and you kind of have to like bump it. And you really, it's not very safe, especially if you're in a tight spot where you don't have a whole lot of room for error. You kind of just take a lot of risks and you end up getting a lot of trail rash. You flip the buggy on its side, you fall off a cliff if you're in that kind of situation. Just in general, not great. So with our rock crawl file, we have it where it's a lot more linear throttle, so it's not so it doesn't really jerk you around or buck you real bad. So that tune is really good for guys that like that type of riding, which is pretty popular among guys all around West Virginia and Kentucky and Tennessee and things like that, all around the Appalachians. They really enjoy that tune. So if you live in that area and you think that tune would work for you, definitely consider it if you decide you want to do a 4-tune package or if you just want to do it as a single file. On to the mud and sand tunes. That's our last two, and they are our most aggressive. Those will be your balls out tune. That is if you want maximum performance from your clutching and your transmission. Those tunes keep the engine RPM above 5,500 always. So as soon as you get past 5,500 first gear, it's going to stay there or higher the rest of the time. These tunes work phenomenal in sand and mud. If you're a big mud rider, this is a must-have tune. But what's important about these two tunes is I rarely recommend them as an only tune with a basic package. And the reason being, they're pretty over the top and they're pretty extreme. So when you put the wife and kids in there and you want to go cruise around, you got a buggy that's on kill mode all the time. And it's just not, it really takes away a lot of the fun factor and enjoyment of the machine. And it drives a lot more like a belt drive where it keeps the RPM up all the time. So if you think about doing the mud or sand tune, you need to either be primarily virtually 100% mud or sand rider. When I say sand, sand dunes, or if you ride like river bottoms or creek bottoms where it's real loomy and you need maximum performance all the time. Outside of that, the biggest difference between the mud and sand tunes, this is something that the consumer will notice the difference of. Otherwise, they are very similar. The mud tune has a high idle feature when it's in gear. So when you, let's say you pull off in a deep water or deep mud and you get high enough in that water or mud that the exhaust system is covered up, the engine will be less prone to be snuffed out by the exhaust system being covered up. So in stock form, stock idle, these machines tend to if you get the exhaust system below the water line and for whatever reason the RPM drops, sometimes it'll kill the motor and it will not restart. And then you'll end up with a bunch of water through your exhaust system and you end up having to winch out or get somebody to pull you out. And that's not very cool, especially when you're the Honda guy with a bunch of Polaris guys. Y'all know who you're talking about, okay? Y'all do not like being embarrassed by the Polaris guys who brake all the time and then the Honda guy has to get pulled out. So that's a really cool feature. Otherwise, those tunes are just really aggressive, really great tunes for those types of terrain. Outside of that, I rarely recommend them for anything else. There are some guys who buy them for trail riding who say that they pretty much just go wide open throttle from the time they come off the trailer. And for those guys, they do enjoy those tunes, but they're, generally speaking, those guys don't use the machine for anything besides full throttle, Talon or Pioneer. So kind of moving on, that kind of covers most of the bases as far as your questions you could have. Briefly touch on the 6-tune package. The 6-tune package is 2 fuels and 3 transmission calibrations. So you'll pick the 2 fuels you want, and then you'll pick 3 of those 5 transmission files. So just to kind of cover some of the fuels we have, I don't think there's a fuel we don't have, but if y'all can try, we will gladly make a tune for it. So we offer 87, 89, 91, 90, 93, 95, E85. Basically, if it exists, rec fuel, non-ethanol. If the fuel exists, we pretty much have tuned for it. If you want to run methanol in it, we can get you injectors and we can get you on methanol. We can make mad power out of it. That's what you want to do. Just basically, the sky's the limit when it comes to fueling options. Just let us know what you want. To kind of touch on a couple other things, the overheat kits that we offer for the Honda platform, super popular. We have sold enormous amounts of them this year already. We're in the first week of February. We have basically had to get in touch with the manufacturer of those products from Belgium and get them to make more of them, because we have bought so many that we have went around the US basically in different warehouses acquiring them, and then we take them into our shop and we modify them to work in our application. With those kits, you get a high pressure radiator cap. So this is a 20 PSI radiator cap and a high flow, low temp thermostat. So the stock thermostat on Honda has a very, very small diameter orifice. It doesn't have a lot of throw. The actual plunger that moves in and out, it doesn't move very far. And they're set to 180 degrees from the factory. Our thermostat opens at 170. It has a longer stroke, so the plunger actually opens further, and the orifice is much, much larger. What that does is that fixes the flash boil issue. So these machines are known for flash boiling. When you if you have had this experience, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't yet, you will, because we thought we were invincible to it. We had never experienced it. We had a ton of customers telling us about it. We never experienced it, so we never did find a way to diagnose it. It wasn't until it happened to us and we had a customer machine in the shop in person that we could physically experience it happen. Basically what happens is the thermostat doesn't open quick enough. So you end up with it flash boiling the coolant in the head. And when it does, it pushes the coolant out the radiator cap into the reservoir, puts an air pocket in the system, and then you have a machine that goes from 2 bars indicated on the display to flash to 4 bars. And it's boiling, you're stuck on the side of the trail, and they will not stop overheating again until you let them completely cool off. And when they completely cool off, that air pocket contracts, it pulls the coolant back in from the overflow, and then you crank your machine up, and it's good for a long time. Like, it may not happen again for another 2 or 3 months, or if you're one of the guys that are seriously plagued by it, it'll happen again on the next trail. So our overheat kit, we have solved, I think at this point, probably around 100 customers that have had like perpetual issues with them that we fixed, and then probably at least another 50 that are guys that just know that their buddies have it, and they're like, hey, I don't want to be that guy on the trail overheating, and I want to fix it. I think we've probably sold just this January alone, we probably sold 50 of them right there on its own. We've been selling those since September. We have had 0 complaints as far as its functionality and what a great product it is. So definitely, if you're thinking about that, those are $100 normal price if you buy it just by itself. If you buy it with our tune package, or you buy it with portals, or you buy it with some other package that we offer, that goes from being $85 to being $60. And if you buy it with something that we ship from the shop, you save shipping. So if you buy it, for example, if you buy the tune package, if you buy it with a PV3, or you buy it with some other product we offer that has the shipping factored into the price, then we just include it in the box and you pay no shipping. So instead of paying $85 plus $15 to shipping, $100 out the door, you pay $60, and then a lot of times you get it combined with other shipping, and it's free shipping. So what you end up with, instead of paying $100, you pay $60. So a lot of guys that buy a tune package, I would say probably at least 95% of you guys here lately, if you're buying a tune package, y'all are all throwing in an overheat kit. Y'all are definitely in the right game there. Y'all are gonna be happy with it. So enjoy that. Just to kind of touch on a few other products we offer, we have board throttle body adapters as well. A lot of you guys have probably seen those. They make some billet aluminum ones that are on the internet floating around. We actually take the factory one and then taper bore it. Especially the Talon ones are really nice. They are They're glass fiber reinforced, 30%, really nice piece. I mean, it's amazing that this product is as cheap as it is from Honda. We machine it in-house and we ship those out. We sell them in a few different ways. We sell them in board for Talon throttle body to match 49 millimeter, or we sell them in 47.5, which matches the inlet of the Pioneer throttle body. So it jumps from 49 down to 47.5 taper bore, and it's a perfect smooth bore from the 47.5 to 44, which is what the Pioneer is, and from 49 to the 46 that's on the Talon. So if you're thinking about getting something that's kind of cheap and inexpensive and a little bit of performance gain, that's a really good bang for your buck. Those are $45 included with anything else. If you buy them without something else, it's $15 for shipping, just like everything else. So that is a really good feature, a really good product to just throw on, especially on Pioneers. If you're doing the Overheat Kit, throw on that throttle body adapter while you're in there because you're right beside it. So I'm trying to think if there's really anything else to go over. If you'll have any questions, feel free to comment. I can make a supplemental video to this, kind of cover some bases. I probably should have introduced myself a little bit more in depth at the beginning of the video, but I'm Jordan. My brother Zachary is my business partner, and he is the other half of the owner of Complete Off-Road Powersports. It is under the parent company, Advanced Tuning Solutions. So if you see us come up on your credit card statements as ATS or Advanced Tuning Solutions, that is us. We're brothers. I'm the good-looking one. He's the ugly one with the weird-looking hair, and you can just talk to him about that. He's also the guy that loves haters, and you haters are pretty great, okay? You haters have made us a lot of money. So while I love our customers, and our customers are amazing, the haters, y'all have really just fueled this fire, and in probably the last 2 months of y'all's extra diligent hate, we have had some record high sales. So big shout out to y'all. Y'all #1 haters, make sure that y'all comment or send me a PM. I know some of you guys like to PM me sometimes. So shoot me or Zachary a message or the business page a message to say, hey, I'm your #1 hater. If you do, I'll throw you some stickers in the mail. I'll even throw you one of those big ones. I got some of those 10-inch stickers. I'll throw some of those in there. And if I extra like you and you've made us a pretty significant amount of money, if it's one of you guys that I know y'all's names, then I might even throw in an Overheat Kit for y'all. I might drop ship one of those straight to y'all. So feel free, if you're a hater, to let us know that, hey, I'm a hater. If you're a really good customer, don't forget to review us on Facebook and on Google, because that really helps. Of course, all you guys that post up videos and show off our tunes and brag about us, y'all literally are the best. Y'all are pretty amazing, and we have a fantastic relationship with you guys. We would like to pay back. We're going to do some more giveaways. We're going to probably start doing some sort of giveaways on some of our smaller products. What we might do is do maybe like 5 winners, throw out some overheat kits or some throttle body adapters, maybe some PV3 extension cables, things of that nature. At some point in the near future, we'll do a PV3 tune giveaway. And what we'll do on that is for the guys that that buy a PV3 around the same time frame we do the PV3 giveaway. What we can do is you can still enter. You can still follow the instructions on the post, enter, and if you bought a PV3 already within we'll pick a time frame, whatever it is, the last 30 days or something like that, or if you buy it within the time frame of the giveaway, if you win, we'll just refund the money you spent. So if you win and you've bought, let's say you bought a basic package, we'll just refund you that price. Also, real quick, while I'm thinking about that, I didn't cover any pricing on this stuff. So the basic package is $765 out the door. The 4-tune package is $915. The 6-tune package is $965. So it's $765 plus a $150 upgrade for 4-tune or a $200 upgrade for 6-tune package. Also, the reverse shifting is something I did not mention. On Pioneer and Talon, we offer shifting in reverse. So if you're not familiar, these machines have a sub-transmission. Think of it like a transfer case. That gives you high, low, and reverse. And then you have a 6-speed transmission built into the engine. What you're able to do with that is you can put it in reverse, and the machine starts off in first gear in the actual transmission. We can shift gears 2 and 3. with our tune, we do not offer 4, 5, and 6 unless you have a unique request. That is just because that is ultra dangerous. Going that fast in reverse is really sketchy. Ask us how we know. So we do gears 2 and 3 that you can shift into. If you live up north, do a lot of snow plowing, that is an awesome feature because you can go pretty quick up and down your driveway. If you're a guy that has portals or a lot of reduction and you're barely moving in reverse shifting is amazing as well. Outside of that kind of covers all the bases. I'm Jordan again. My brother is Zachary. It's not on the video, but all you guys know him, so don't worry about it. We'll get him on a video soon. He can say hi, blow off some kisses, all that kind of good stuff. Otherwise, we will talk to you later, and it was good talking to you.